In Miami and Las Vegas, it's a steakhouse called Poppy Steak.
Yes, sir.
They sell a $1,000 steak. I asked the guy from Texas, take a look at that picture. How much would you say that steak is worth? He said, $50. I'm looking at it, it's a $1,000 steak. But it's not that people want a $1,000 steak. It's when they bring it out. We went to the restaurant because I got to see what the experience is. Before they brought it out, I told my wife, Ronnie, I tapped her and said, hey, something just changed in here. And what it was, the atmosphere shifted. It shifted because the music changed. And the DJ had changed the music up. And I saw the wait staff was like bunched up back in the corner, and they were coming out with like which looked like a briefcase. Now this briefcase is what they call a beef case. And when they bring it out to your table, they open it up. It has a huge raw tomahawk steak on it, sitting on like a bed of what looks like, they're not diamonds, they look like diamonds. Everybody is cheering, everybody is chanting. They got the box closed, they open it up, they like, let's go, 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 then they close it back, open it up again. So it's the whole experience. Again, they sell these steaks for $1,000. The owner posted that when the Super Bowl weekend, right, the Super Bowl's in town, they sold over 200 of those steaks.
At $1,000 each.
Yes. Now, again, I can guarantee you there's someone here that makes a better steak.
For sure.
It's not about who has the best steak, it's about who has the best experience.
How do you offer a superb experience as a business loan broker? Yeah, I just watched that video right there, and it inspired me to create this video about how to be a loan broker. And I was working with one of my former clients. She knows who she is, but she reached out to me and she was like, Brian, I'm stuck in this mortgage. I don't know what it is. The payment on it is ridiculous. And I'm looking at it. You know, this has been my former client. I help her fix her credit. We've been working together for probably almost 10 years now. And I'm looking at it like, who the hell got you this loan? You know, and I was a little bit tickled because I didn't do the loan. You know, the loan was a 5-year interest-only loan. I would have never gotten in a situation like that. You know, she's retired from the post office for years, took some money, and she's also a widow. So she had a little bit of money from insurance, and she took that money, she invested in real estate. So the real estate is a long-term play for her. It didn't make any sense for her to be in interest-only type of mortgage. It's a 5-year interest-only mortgage. It was like an 8.8%. And what really hurt is she got this loan during the time when interest rates were super low. So you can clearly see that this person just basically took advantage of her. And I'm over here kind of pissed because I lost out on this opportunity. Why the hell did you not reach out to me? I was just about to say the client's name, but I'm not about to. But what it reminded me of, I basically, you know, put my selfish thoughts aside as far as why she didn't come to me, and I helped her understand why she got into such a situation there is, and I broke the loan down for her. They basically raped her. They charged her so much money. They got her in a position where she was doing a refi on another house in order to pull some money out to purchase on this commercial real estate investment that she was making. And the thing is at last minute, they changed the terms of her loan that she was getting right here. So she felt pressured because she had earnest money already put down over here, and she had a closing date already put down over here. So now you had this loan broker to come in and offer her basically a nasty ass loan, you know, if I could just be honest. Something that she didn't have no business being into, okay? And all because she was trying to rush. Okay, and this is kind of a lesson to everybody out there that rushes, especially when in real estate, you have to take your time when it comes to things like this. But I put all that aside and decided to offer her a great experience. I helped her understand the loan that she got into, why it wasn't a good experience, it wasn't a good loan for her long term, based on her financial goals and based on where she was at in life right now, and why we needed to convert her into a 30-year fixed, 30-year ARM was going to lower her payments. Because this is the thing. They got into an interest-only loan, and principal and interest alone for this specific loan that she's on is almost $2,000, not including her taxes and insurance. Now, the lady is stretched thin. Oh my gosh, I just gave you a clue. She's stretched thin. So she got her annual tax bill, she got her, you know, insurance bill. Of course, with insurance being so high, with all the stuff that's been going on, her insurance went up, her property taxes went up, and she has this lump sum that she has to pay for. And she was just freaking out. So she reached out to me and I said, we need to structure this something different. We need to get you in a loan where you pay principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. It needs to be fixed for a full 30 years. Now, we all know the insurance and the taxes will fluctuate, but the principal and interest is stuck for 30 years and it's amortized for 30 years. And believe it or not, I'm getting her a loan, principal, interest, taxes and insurance put together, the payment is much lower than what she's paying right now with her principal and interest only on this interest only loan. If you understand real estate, you should be picking along with what I'm talking about here. But without even closing the loan, I felt so fulfilled with me just taking the time to explain to her exactly what's going on. Because I know that she didn't know what's going on. And this is somebody, you know, a black lady out there in Philly, and it's somebody took advantage of her, you know, and I felt bad. And by watching that video that I just shared with you in the beginning of this, you know, it led me to make this video about how can you offer a great experience, you know, especially being as a loan broker. Right now, you might see ads out there. A lot of people trying to get into the loan industry. People are offering financing or this and that, and people are doing ads on TikTok and Facebook. And everybody is a loan broker. Everybody's an expert when it comes to finance. But you might be on the sideline thinking that, hey, this might not be something that you want to get into if you're thinking about considering my course. But I'm here to tell you that as long as you offer a great experience as a business loan broker, there's always going to be business for you to make. And I jot down a few different things as to how you can offer a great experience as a business loan broker. So let me go ahead and share with you my list that I came up with. Number one, can you guys guess what number one is? Okay, you guys, if you've been watching my stuff right now, you should be able to guess what number one is. Number one is understand the 3 paths of lending, okay? I'm gonna continue saying this until you guys get it, ladies and gentlemen, you ladies, gals, whatever it is, until y'all get it. Knowing your products is really key, okay? If you understand your products, you should be able not to get a lady like this screwed, okay? And I'm not gonna sit here and think that the loan originator did not understand the products. I think they were really focused on how much money they were getting out of this, because they charge her like 4 points. It was ridiculous what they charge her. But even if they did, let's just say they didn't understand their products. You know, they should understand at least the second part of this, which understand your client and their business and their needs. I say it all the time, and this is one of the reasons I preach about the 3 paths of lending is our job as a business loan broker is not just to sell a specific product. MCA lenders, MCA brokers. If you are a one pony trick type of a person that all you offer is one product, you're not going to be able to last. You're not going to be able to offer a great experience for your borrowers as a business loan broker in 2025, especially right now. You have to understand your products. That's first. You have to understand 3 paths of lending, 3 different ways on how you can get a client funded. That's huge. Number 2, you have to understand your client. You have to understand your client needs. You have to understand your client goals, okay? In order for you to be able to offer really good results as a business loan broker, really good advice. Because I always say that our job as a business loan broker is to not make the decision for the client. We offer the solutions for the client and they make their final decisions. We give them a buffet of options. You know, as I talk about the 3 paths of lending with every single one of my clients, I always go through what we can do from a credit point standpoint, what we can do from a revenue point standpoint, and what we can do from an asset point standpoint. These are your options. These are the interest rates. Now, what do you want to do? Because you're going to have to live with this. Now, I understand the client's goals. I understand what their objectives are. I understand what they're trying to do. For this specific scenario, that borrower, that broker should understand that this lady is retired. This lady is a widower. This lady is trying to invest in this real estate, taking all this chunk of money that she has, that she got from a life insurance policy and a severance package, and she wants to park it somewhere where it makes her money to secure her future. Why the hell would you put her in an interest-only loan? Well, she doesn't. And why the hell would you put her in a loan where it's not her taxes and insurance are not taken out? So now she has this lump sum payment at the end of the year that's freaking her out. Why the hell would you put her in a loan where she actually makes she's not even making money based on the way the current loan is set up right now, as far as what she's paying for rent, charging for rent in that specific property, and she's basically charging market rent, and she's still not making money because of how everything is set up. So, you know, one thing that happens here is, you know, I could assume that the broker did not understand his products. I could assume that the broker was very selfish and only focused on himself and what he was going to get in the end of this, which was the big commission. You know, not saying there's nothing wrong with making money, but it's the experience that you're offering your clients. Is it worth how much you're charging? Okay, it's not all about making money. Another thing is building trust. So number 3 here, build trust through transparency. I'm very transparent with every client that I speak with. Let them know, I mean, even if it hurts, okay? I have some consulting clients. One of them, if you're watching this, you know who you are. You know, some of the things that I get into is financial decisions are life decisions. And sometimes financial decisions can be very emotional decisions. And your emotions tend to reflect on your actions. You know, one of my clients that I'm working with now is a credit consulting client, and we're working with kind of reshaping her relationship with money. You know, one of the things that I came out here doing our first initial consultation, I just told her, like, why do you have this distant relationship with your money? You know, and I remember how those statements kind of just hit her. It was eye-opening, like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. You know, it's like her money is over there and she's over here. And she has issues with how she's managing her money, but she just doesn't want to tackle and get in tune with those issues, because it's her making the decisions as it pertains to her money. So one of the things that you cannot be afraid of is being transparent, just being honest and upfront with the borrowers, not just about your fees, but also about the loan, you know, about what they're getting themselves into. You know, plenty of times you've heard me talk about, I talk about merchant cash advances, and I say that merchant cash advances should be a last option. I always go through like a counseling session with every one of my clients that decide to take a merchant cash advance. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Can you afford this? Because I want to be able to go to sleep and not telling you, you know, being able to feel like, hey, I did what I could for that borrower. I consulted them, letting them know the good, the bad, and the ugly as it pertains to that specific product. And they agreed to take on that walk. So it's completely up to them at that point. But building trust through transparency is one of the things that have kept me going over the years and constantly have given me repeat business. I can assure you, this specific client, I told her, you better not make any other move as it pertains to money without talking to me first. And the reason why I can say that and be so assertive is I know my products, going back to point number one. Number two, I understand and I take the time to understand the client. She saw and appreciated how much time that I went through looking through all her loan documents. I didn't make no money doing that. It took us about an hour or so. It was 2 loans that she did. I looked through all her documents. I educated her. This is what they did. This is how much they charged you. You don't believe me? Look at the numbers. Grab your calculator. Let's see. Why would you do this? And I rubbed it in. I made sure I rubbed it in to let her know you messed up, and you messed up big time. Now we got to do another loan. You have to pay additional closing costs. When you do real estate, you have to do the appraisal. You have to do the closing fees. She has to pay an origination fee. There's title fees. There's legal fees. There's recording fees. She has to do all of that again. And she didn't have to do this. Okay, so I build trust and transparency. Another thing is communicate quickly and clearly. Okay, that's the fourth point that I want to make here is effective communication is huge. You know, I can honestly say it's one of my gifts. If you've read my book before, one of the best comments that I always get about my book is, man, you just made it make sense. Okay, the last chapter of my book, I focus on teaching and educating people about the FICO score and what it takes to, make up a FICO score. And I have what I call my doctor business rules. I go over the 4 factors and I go over how to manage each one of these factors. I go over how these factors negatively and positively impact you and a few other different things. But one of my gifts that I believe I have, and I'm gonna toot my horn here a little bit, I'm gonna dirt my shoulders off here real quick, is I am an effective communicator. I'm not afraid to speak clearly, and I don't speak in big, jumbly, big ass words that most people don't understand. That's not how the approach that I take when it comes to communicating with my clients. I make it make sense. I make it make sense that even a 3-year-old can understand. Oh my gosh, my nose is running here. Okay. So I make it make sense. I'm an effective communicator. Fifth thing that we need to know here is build strong lender networks. Okay, this should be a given. Okay, this should definitely be a given if you're a business owner broker, that you have to build strong lender networks. This is at the end of the day, it's really funny sometimes. I have clients that reach out to me, and I can tell that these people, these are very slick clients. And I had one it was a couple of weeks ago, and we're getting them into a business credit card stacking program. If you understand the product, you should know what this program is about. We submit multiple different credit card applications at the same time. This borrower, after I got done with the compliance call, asked me, hey, can you send me a list of all the lenders you're going to be applying with? No. The hell do you think this is? Okay, that's my secret recipe, is my lenders. The reason why you come to me is because of my knowledge. But at the end of the day, the lenders. That's why you come to me, is because of the lenders that I have. So we don't disclose our lenders. And we're not going to disclose the lender before we actually get you approved. Now, once I get you approved, of course you're going to know who the lender is. They have to service the loan. But building strong lender relationships is huge. Right now I'm dealing with a tough loan that without my great lender relationships, I probably would never made it happen. I got a gentleman here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, trying to do some refinance on some properties. And it's a very rural area, and some of the properties don't meet the minimum value requirements from the lender. So we're dealing with, there's like 3 things that I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the rural area. I'm dealing with the declining market, which Pine Bluff, Arkansas is considered to be a declining market. I'm dealing with some properties that don't meet the threshold of the value of the lenders. And I'm also dealing with somebody that doesn't have the most superb credit profile. But with my diversity with the different lenders that I have, I'm able to get such things done. So I'm waiting for final approval for this specific borrower. We're going to be able to kind of get that done, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have a good, strong network. And another thing, just lastly, offer value beyond the loan. I think that pretty much encompasses everything that we talked about here. I truly build a relationship with every borrower that ever worked with me. If you ever worked with me before, even on a student level or even as just a borrower, I truly build relationships with the different borrowers that I work with. And I absolutely believe that that's one of the reasons that I'm still in business up to this day, because it gets pretty challenging out there, especially with some of the new fake brokers that kind of pop up out of nowhere, you know, and close shop. I can say proudly that I've been in business since 2011, August 24th, 2011 to be exact. I've never had to work a job. I mean, this is a job at the end of the day, but I've been pursuing my passion since August 24th, 2011. August 24th, 2011. I got fired August 23rd, I believe, 2011. My last job I ever get fired at. And one of the things that I think that really I can, you know, I can say has really got me here is just offer value beyond the loan. I really take time to help my clients understand what they're getting into. Maybe sometimes a little bit too much time, but I truly invest in my clients and educating them, just like I do here on YouTube, you know. But that's pretty much it. That's our video for today. What is it? 6 things that you have to have in order for you to have, you know, that true experience that you need to offer your clients, so you can actually charge as much as you need to, you know, because you're offering value. Number 1 is understand your products. Know the 3 packs of lending. There's a link in the description. You can download it for free. You're stupid if you're still business loan broker. You don't understand 3 packs of lending. Okay, you get out of here. Understand your clients. Listen. 2 years. Come on. Listen to your clients and let the objective to be. My mom used to always say this. Okay. You should always leave a room better than you got it. You know, if you go to the kitchen, you know, don't leave a mess. You know, I used to be very messy when I was a kid. My mom used to whip my butt all the time. And she always say, you know, when you get done, you know, if you're in the living room, I tell this to my kids all the time. If you're in the living room, if you're in the game room, all right, if you're in your bedroom, leave it better than you left it. God dang it. Okay? Before you leave it better than you left it. So, understand your clients. Take the time to understand and listen and understand what their objectives are, understand what their goals are, and make sure that you get them into a position where it actually benefits them. Okay, build trust through transparency. Be transparent. Okay, I'm gonna be more and more transparent as I continue on with this video. Actually, my next video, I'm gonna be very transparent as to some of the different challenges that I've been facing, even just building Broker Solutions Academy. Communicate quickly and clearly. Okay, this is a very fast-paced industry. You have to move very quickly in order to get things done here. Build a strong lender network. Huge. If you don't, that's what makes a business loan broker, your lender network. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, offer value beyond the loan. Okay, offer value beyond the loan. Be a friend. God damn it. Okay, I'm sorry for cursing, but be a friend to your clients. Be a friend to the people that you deal with. Sometimes people just need to listen. You know, I've ended up being a therapist to some of the clients that I'm dealing with, and you know, just sometimes just taking the time. You know, this is one of my gifts as well. And some of my friends or even family members kind of find it annoying sometimes because I talk to everybody, okay? I literally do. If you walk in your dog across my house right now, if I'm not doing anything, I'll probably go out there and talk to you, okay? I talk to everybody that I come across. You know, if I'm traveling, I'm at the airport, I'm gonna talk to people. You know, this is really funny. I picked up my son Kylan from school. This is my oldest, and he's sitting in the passenger seat. And we're driving home, and then there's little teenage girls that were driving across from us, and we're at a stoplight, and I think they were giggling. I think they thought he was cute or something. You know, maybe they thought I was cute. I don't know, but no, I don't go that way. But I think they thought he was cute or something. So I'm trying to, you know, build a little bit encouragement to my son. I'm like, hey, talk to them, you know, say hi. So I roll his window down, okay, and he's like, bro, Dad, the heck you doing that for? You know, and then he's over here nervous. So I talk to them. I'm like, what's up? What y'all doing? And literally, we're at a stoplight. And I'm over here talking to these teenage girls. There were some high school girls or something like that. And I'm trying to see if I can get my son to talk to them. And my son is looking at me like, this freaking weirdo. What is wrong with you? Why are you talking to them? We had a stop sign. But that's just my personality. That's the type of person that I am. I think that, especially in today's society, we don't do a lot more of that. The disconnect that we have, we all tend to just hide behind our phones. You know, you go to the gym, if you look at somebody, you know, you can't even say hi. They immediately look down on their phone. It's just kind of crazy. But anyway, that's the video for today. I'm done. I'm back. Appreciate you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.